Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you everything I made in my second year of sewing. If that sounds fun, keep watching. If this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, my name's Rachel. Thanks for stopping by. I like to make stuff here, and since I've primarily been sewing lately, you can expect to see a little bit of personal style chit chat here too. Okay, last year around this time, I think it was in May, I had posted a video where I talked about every single thing I had made over the year, and then I tried it on, and you guys really liked that video. It is definitely my most watched video so far, so I thought it would be fun to do it again this year. But before we go through all of the clothes, I just kind of wanted to talk about what this year has looked like for me with sewing, and kind of what my goals were for my first year sewing compared to my second year sewing. A lot of it had to do with just lifestyle changes and just life changes in general, so I just wanted to talk about that before we get started, just so you guys kind of have a better understanding of where my head was at when I was making all this stuff. So my first year of sewing was kind of all the way through my husband's second year of his MBA. During that time, we had events to go to, we did a little bit of traveling, so all those factors kind of played a part in what I decided to make that year. Plus, I just really wanted to try a lot of different fabrics and stuff, so I ended up making a lot of cute dresses and things for special occasions, and then a few summer pieces as well. But shortly after I filmed that video, we started packing up to move across the country, so now we live in San Francisco, and we spent kind of the end of summer and then most of the fall moving. Since we've moved to San Francisco, our life looks a little bit different. For one, my daughter started preschool and I'm really involved in her school, so I really need to be able to wear things that I'm comfortable in, that I can move in, that I can be outside in. We're outside all the time now. Something I was really surprised about when I moved to San Francisco is how beautiful it is and how close to nature we are here, so we are outside all the time. Also, San Francisco weather is a lot different than Boston too. Boston summers are really hot and humid, and here in San Francisco it's pretty mild almost all year round. So even when I do wear those summery dresses, I do think I'm gonna have to layer up a little bit more here. And since I've become a lot more confident in my sewing skills and like working with different fabrics and stuff, I really wanted to focus on making my everyday clothes. So my goal for this year was to pretty much not buy any clothing unless it was something that I really don't feel confident making. So jeans, activewear, undergarments. Those are the three main things that I would let myself buy if I needed to replace something. And looking back, I did do a really good job of that. I barely bought any clothing this year. The only clothing that I did buy was in the middle of our move. So as we were moving, seasons were changing and I did not pack accordingly. So I did buy a couple things in there to just kind of suit the weather and keep me warm as it was turning into fall. So yeah, thinking about kind of what I do wear every day, as much as I would love to say that I wear dresses every single day, I don't. Most of the time I'm reaching for like a sweatshirt and a pair of leggings and like a jacket, or you know, a stretchy tank top and a pair of joggers. I do wear jeans a lot, but I still want to feel cozy and comfy, so I did end up making a lot of just comfy basics this year. And something that I've really loved about that is to have basics that also feel like me. So instead of just buying really simple basics and having to kind of choose out of like 4 colors or something, I was really able to make sure that the pieces I was making over the last year actually kind of go together easily, so that my wardrobe, even though it's really casual, it still feels polished. I still feel put together even if I'm just wearing a comfortable outfit. And that's completely different than the first year of sewing. The first year of sewing, I did wear things that I made often, but it wasn't like an everyday thing. It wasn't like they were just a part of my wardrobe, and now I do feel like my wardrobe is slowly turning into like a half handmade wardrobe. Maybe next year I'll be even 75% of the way there, we'll see. But yeah, I do feel really accomplished this year. I feel really proud of the stuff that I've made. I'm excited to show you guys what I made. I'm going to be trying my stuff on. I made a lot of stuff for my daughter, just like leggings and like comfy things for her to play in. So she was really hard on her clothes. They've been everywhere. They've been in the dirt, they've been at the beach, they've had paint all over them. She has gotten a lot of use out of those clothes, and it's been really nice to be able to make clothes for her this year and take her to the fabric store with me. Gosh, sorry if my cat is really distracting. You get out of here. There you go. But it's been really nice to be able to make most of my daughter's wardrobe this year. She really likes being able to go to the fabric store with me and pick out some of the fabrics that I use. And I feel like it's just been a really good opportunity to give her a lot of control over the things that she's wearing. Even if they need to be really practical, at least they are in a color or a print that she's really into. So you'll see what I mean. Okay, well I think that's about everything I want to tell you guys before I get started. So I guess now we can go look at the clothes. Hey guys, I just wanted to point something out before I get started trying things on, because you will notice I have have a pretty obvious sunburn on my back right now. The other day I was outside for 4 hours pulling weeds and I did wear sunscreen, but I should have reapplied and I did not. So I just thought this would be a good time to give a little summertime PSA. I like to do this over on my personal Instagram every year just to remind people to wear sunscreen in the summer. And also, if you have moles and you have access to healthcare, get your moles checked annually if you can. A few years ago, actually 7 years ago, when I was 26, my doctor found a pre-melanoma on my back. They called it a stage 0 melanoma, and I had to have a pretty big chunk of skin taken off. And I don't usually burn. I actually tan really easily. This is my natural tan. So I tan easily even when I do wear sunscreen, and I still had a melanoma on my back. So it can happen to anybody. All of these dots on my arms are moles. So a lot of people would think that these are freckles, but these are actually moles. And it's really important that you get those checked. And if you can't regularly make it into a dermatologist, make sure you look online. There are a lot of resources that will help you to kind of look at your moles yourself if you notice anything out of the ordinary, to bring it up to a doctor when you do see a doctor. But yeah, it can happen to anybody. So it doesn't matter if you're super young, if you never burn, if you always wear sunscreen, just make sure you're keeping an eye on your skin. It's always nice to have that peace of mind just knowing that a doctor has checked out all of my moles, because I do have a lot all over my body. And I just wanted to remind you guys to do that too if that is something you've never considered or really even thought about. But yeah, now that we're in the summertime, I just wanted to remind people, wear sunscreen, reapply. Don't get a terrible sunburn like I did. Hey guys. Okay, so we're back here with all of the clothes. I actually tried filming this last week, but then I got really sick and lost my voice. So hopefully this time I can make it all the way through for you guys. I have over 70 items here on this rack, which I was really surprised by, just because with moving and everything over this past year, I really didn't think that I was that productive, but I really was, obviously. So I think that part of the reason I was more productive this year is just because I'm a little bit faster at sewing now that I kind of have the hang of things, I guess. Some of these things are just multiples of the same thing. I also have just a bunch of leggings for my daughter too. So I know 70 sounds like a huge number, but a lot of this is just kind of like staples, everyday clothes. So you'll see. Okay, so I know I said I didn't make a lot of dresses this year, but we're gonna start with a bunch of dresses. So the first one is this one right here. This is the Hallon Dress by Paradise Patterns. I love, love, love this pattern. So you'll see I've made a bunch of these. This one is made out of this Indian block printed cotton. If you've seen some of my other fabric videos, you probably recognize this. My friend got this for me when she was visiting India, and I love this fabric so much. It's just the best flowy, soft cotton, and it gets softer every time I wash it. And I really loved using it for this pattern because this is just the perfect throw-on dress for a really hot day. In terms of the pattern, there are two different versions of this pattern. There's a view A, which is gathered. It has gathering in the back, and it has a gathered tier on the bottom. This is view B, so this is just the straight down version. It has a slit in both sides. Something I really love about this sewing pattern is that it shows you how to do a French seam with a slit, so I can show you guys kind of what that looks like. So here is the slit, and then on the inside it's this beautiful French seam, so it's all finished on the inside too. It's nice and high in the front, but it still has a really low back. So some of you know I really love a low back feature in like anything, so I really love that about this dress. And since I do have a kid, it's really nice to have coverage in the front so I can like bend over and move around in this dress without having to worry about any wardrobe malfunctions. But yeah, this pattern is really simple. It turns out really nice and clean looking. It has this bias tape binding all the way around the front and the back, and that's what the straps are made out of too. So if you like bias tape binding, you probably like this pattern. I just really like the look of bias tape binding. I feel like it looks really nice, and it's also really fun if you want to do it in like a contrasting color or something. That is this dress. Okay, next I did the Hallon Dress again, and I made this one out of a thrifted duvet cover. So this is a little bit thicker cotton. It does have a little bit more structure than the other ones, so it hangs a little bit differently. This is what the fabric looks like up close. So I really like with the bias tape binding, like all of these lines are going in different directions and stuff. Yeah, that's what this one looks like. It just looks really crisp. I wore this so much last summer. This is just kind of the thing that I put on when I was rolling out of bed and I still wanted to feel fancy, so I'd put on some earrings and like slick my hair back and put this on. And it was just the perfect dress, especially for Boston summers, because the silhouette of this dress skims my upper body, but then it just kind of glides down, so it's not hugging my body in any places, which is really nice for the humidity. Oh yeah, something else I forgot to say is this does have darts, so it's really nice this area doesn't gape or anything. It just looks really clean. I love this pattern so much. Okay, and then next I have this dress that I started making for an event for my husband's school last year. I really wanted to make my own dress for the event because I had made my own dresses for all the other events for the year. And I had this fabric that I really wanted to use because I had had it for a long time, and it is so beautiful. It's just the perfect sea glass green, but this did not turn out well at all. So this is a cami dress by Studio Pixie. I found this pattern on Etsy. I don't think it's available anymore. I actually don't even think that this shop exists anymore, but it did look like a really simple style, so I thought that I would use this fabric on it. This is bias cut, so I thought that it would just fit really nicely to my body, which it does. I should have known better than to make a dress last minute with a defined bust area, because as it is, since I have a smaller chest, it is really hard for me to fit tops that have definition in the bust. I actually tried to make the Rose Cafe bustier dress with this fabric before I made this dress, so I totally failed in like the very beginning. The fit was completely off. It wasn't gonna work at all. So before I got too deep into that, I decided to make this dress. And I think it could have turned out cute, but I didn't handle this fabric carefully enough and it warped a whole bunch. So when I put this on, it kind of looks like an ill-fitting nightgown on me. Also, this area just doesn't fit at all. These are just too big, and I should have tried a different fabric first just to test it out, and I didn't. But the good news is I have these nice panels of fabric still, so I can still make this into something else, and I definitely will. But I will try this on for you guys, even though it looks really bad, but you know, they can't all turn out good, so. Okay, so the next few are from a video that I actually posted last June. It was my week of sewing video, so my husband was out of town and I did a bunch of sewing projects and it was really fun. I filmed all of it, so if you guys want to watch that, I'll link it right up here. Okay, so the first dress that I made in that video is this one right here. This is the Atlas wrap dress, and I love this pattern so much. This is the first time I used this pattern, and I was a little bit hesitant to use a silky fabric the first time, but it actually ended up turning out pretty good. This is a really pretty olive green satin, and it has this really pretty, like kind of watercolory floral print on it. I also made this with short sleeves, so the original pattern has long sleeves on it, just to give it a little bit more of a summery look. The only issue that I ran into with this first one was sizing. So I measured a size, I think it was a size B on the top and C on the bottom. And in the pattern, it suggests going with the smaller of the two sizes since there is quite a bit of ease in this dress. So I went with the size B. I think. It was the smaller of the two sizes that I measured. And it still wasn't quite big enough in the bottom for me, so this is a little bit snug in the booty on me, but it's okay. I don't think I'm really gonna be wearing this when I'm taking my kid anywhere, just because it does have the tendency to kind of gape in the front. With this silky fabric, this doesn't really hold together very well. So this is really one of those like night out, day out outfits. Something that I can wear if I'm going out with my husband or friends or something. So even though it is a little bit tight in the bottom, it's not, I wouldn't say it's tight, but it does cling a little bit more than I want it to. So you'll see in the video, I'll make sure to point it out. But yeah, I really love the tie on this. So there's a tie on the inside right here, and then there's a tie on the outside right here. So you can adjust it quite a bit, and it has some nice little pleats in the back. So there is a little bit of volume in the back too. So even though it's tight around the waist, it's not tight all the way up your back. So I just thought that that was a cute detail, and I really love how that makes the top fit. Okay, so next I made another Hallon dress. So this is it. I made it in a short version this time, and I changed the fit on this one a little bit. And the reason I changed the fit is because this is kind of like a heavier weight linen blend. I really wanted it to be a little bit more fitted in the top just right here. I really just like how straight these lines are and how clean it looks. I really wasn't sure how the bias tape binding was going to turn out either, because since this fabric is a lot thicker, I thought this was going to be really bulky, but it just looks really nice and clean and substantial. So I really love how this turned out, and it fits perfectly with the adjustments I made. I don't even know how much I took it in on the top, maybe like half an inch, not even, maybe a quarter of an inch, just right here. And then I had it tapered down to where it's normally supposed to fit. So since washing this one, sadly, it has shrunk up like an inch, maybe a half an inch, but it feels like an inch. This is pretty short on me now. So I had washed this before, but I think that I forgot to wash it on cold, and that's why it shrunk up a little bit. So hopefully I can just kind of pull on it next time I wash it and it'll stretch it out a little bit more. But right now, you'll notice it's a little short. It was not that short when I made it. Okay, and then again, I made another Hallon dress, but this time in that silky satin fabric. I still had quite a bit of this left, and I really wanted to make a slip dress that felt like it suited my personality a little bit more than some of the other slip dresses that I've seen. So last year I made a couple of the Sicily slip dresses, and I do really love that sewing pattern. I love the style of that dress. I feel like on some people that cowl neck slip dress looks really like effortless, classy, but for me, I feel like it just feels a little bit extra dressy. So I really wanted to try the silhouette of the Hallon dress in a fancier fabric, and I love how this turned out. It was really nice to make a slip dress that isn't bias cut, because I really love how this just hangs straight down. It doesn't cling to my body at all, but it has that nice low back. It just kind of like hangs and flows, and this simple neckline just feels like it suits me a little bit more. I do have slits on both sides of this too, so I get a lot of movement in the bottom when I'm walking, and it just feels really nice to wear this dress. I did end up wearing this dress to one of the graduation events for my husband, and it was like 95 degrees outside for that event. I got super sweaty, and I was really glad to be wearing such a lightweight and flowy dress. After the event, we went straight to my in-laws' Airbnb, and then we were gonna go to a cocktail event afterwards. So I ended up washing this in their bathroom sink with dish soap, and then it dried in like 15 minutes. I ended up being able to wear this to the cocktail party, and it was fresh. Even though I was still sweaty, at least like my dress wasn't sweaty. So hopefully that's not TMI. But yeah, this is one of my most favorite dresses. Okay, and then another thing from that video that's one of my favorite things, this shirt right here. So this is the Revere Collar button-up shirt by Make It Yours the label. This is what the pattern looks like. I love the fabric that I chose for this. This is a linen blend that I got from a discount fabric store when we used Live in Boston's. So this is just a really nice, bold print, and I really wanted to make it fully symmetrical. So I ended up using quite a bit of fabric to do that, but it turned out really good. I love that even the collar is symmetrical, and I really love how the back turned out too. So it was totally worth the use of the extra fabric. I really love this pattern too. It's just a really simple collared shirt pattern. It has kind of this more casual, I guess this is a Revere Collar, is that what this is called? I see this on kind of like tropical shirts and more casual collared shirts. So that's what that looks like in the front. It also doesn't have a yoke on it, which made it a lot more simple to make too. It's not lined or anything. So yeah, this is really easy to put together. If you've never done a collared shirt and you're looking for something casual that you can make with a collar, this is so cute. I love how boxy it is. It is cropped too. And since pretty much all my bottoms are high-waisted, this is like the perfect length. I wear this open over things sometimes, and then I'll also wear it buttoned up. It's pretty versatile, and it's very cute. One of my most favorite things that I've ever made. And since that first one turned out so cute, I had to make it in this lighter weight cotton fabric. This is another one of those block printed fabrics that I love so much, and I love this color. I had actually made a shirt out of the same fabric for my husband, and it was like a button-up tropical shirt too. So we have matching shirts now, which I think is kind of fun. But yeah, it hangs a little bit differently in this flowy, lightweight cotton, so it's kind of fun to have both. I do style them a little bit differently too. Okay, and then the last thing I shared in that video was this dress right here. So this is one of those Atlas wrap dresses again, but I made this one sleeveless. So I did have to add darts in the front here. And then I ended up doing like a bias tape facing, I guess. Does that make sense? Let me turn up the brightness here. Can you see a little bit better? There we go. So yeah, this is what it looks like in the front. Here are the darts, and then here's that bias tape facing. So that's just kind of how I finish off the armholes without having to do a double turn hem. I really love how this turned out. I ended up wearing this for the actual graduation ceremony. It was very comfortable. This is a linen and viscose blend, so it was pretty breathable and lightweight, even though it's kind of like a dark color. I didn't melt. I did make a few other adjustments on this just for fit, since the fit of the other one wasn't perfect. One thing that I did that I will for sure do more often is that I took the waist up, like I think it was like an inch. I do have kind of a shorter waist, so when things hit me lower than my waist, they don't really end up fitting perfectly around my hips and stuff either. So I do think that that made a huge difference in the fit of the bottom of the skirt. Also, it just made it so that I didn't have extra fabric up here when I actually tied it up on my waist. So yeah, the top half fits perfectly. And then I also made it flare out a little bit more on the bottom, so there is more ease in my my hips in the bottom. I feel like I can move around in this one a lot more. And since this fabric isn't slippery, it does grip closed a little bit more. So I definitely get more use out of this one than I do the other one. I love this dress so much. This is one of my favorite dresses that I have currently. And I love this color too. This is just like the perfect plum color. And I really love how it drapes and everything too. I feel like having a little bit of viscose in there really gives it the movement that I want. Okay, and then the next one is a dress for my daughter. I did make a video of me making this dress, so if you want to watch that, here. This is a smock dress pattern by Tiny Design. This is so fun. I just love the idea of having a ruffle that goes all the way around the dress. My daughter actually picked out this fabric, which I was very impressed by. It's really cute. It's a really cute kind of like vintage floral pattern. She ended up wearing this for her birthday party, so it's kind of special and really fun for her to just like run around in. But yeah, I really like how this dress turned out. I really like how the finishing around the neck turned out. It has a little keyhole in the back and a little button. I do remember messing up a few times on this. I was sewing too late at night, but it ended up turning out cute. It is something that she can still wear now. It's just really short on her, so she wears shorts that like stick out the bottom now. But yeah, I really love how this turned out. It was very cute. Okay, so next we're gonna get into a bunch of basic tank tops. I made a whole bunch of these because I realized that it was a huge hole in my wardrobe. I didn't have good quality layering tank tops. So now I do. I have a whole bunch of them. I'll show you guys the first one I made. They're not really in order, but this is the first one I made. This is the Summer Camisole by Paradise Patterns. I love this pattern so much. I made this one really cropped. So I was wearing this one to the climbing gym and stuff. I feel like having a really cropped version was something that I really wanted at the moment. So I made this one, and it kind of has that retro look with like the contrasting binding, which I really thought was fun. But yeah, this is just a really soft brush jersey. It's like the softest feeling fabric ever. And then it also has a shelf bra in it. So it has a little built-in bra. Here's the inside. So that's the built-in bra. It has elastic around the bottom. I felt like this pattern was really easy to follow, and I was really nervous about doing bias tape binding in a knit fabric because usually I iron all of my bias tape binding all flat and beautiful before I sew it, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that. But the nice thing about a lot of knits is that they have a tendency to curl anyway, so when I was putting this together it was a lot easier than I had expected. That was the first one that I made, so I made a second one too, and then I also made little undies to go with them. So this is the second one that I made. So the main fabric is like this off-white kind of like bone color, and then this is white. And then I made the shelf bra part with this like peachy nude. So when it's up against my skin, you don't see like the lightness of this doubled, I guess. So it just kind of like blends in. Does that make any sense? Because usually when you have a shelf bra that's white under a white shirt, then it looks whiter where the shelf bra is than the rest of the shirt. So I wanted to avoid that, and I think it worked. I really don't know if it would have made any difference, but that's what I did on this one. I also made the back a little bit scoopier. Since I have a little bit of visual width to my back, I feel like a straight line across just kind of looks constricting, if that makes any sense. So having a little bit of scoop kind of opens that up a little bit more. I just kind of like the look of it more. So I did that on this one and a lot of the other ones too. So if you see the difference, this is more straight across and this is a tiny bit more scooped. I also made this one a tiny bit longer too. And I'll show you guys the little undies I made too. So these were kind of meant to be lounge sets. I have not worn these yet. Maybe at some point I will. In Boston, I felt like I would wear them around the house since it was really hot in the summer. But now that we live in San Francisco, I don't really have a use for these since it's like 50 degrees outside right now. This is what they look like. They're the cutest little high-waisted, high-leg undies. And yeah, they have that same bias tape binding around the edges. This is the sewing pattern I used for them, so there are a few different versions you can make. I also made them in this color too. I did something a little bit different with these ones than I did this one. This is how the pattern tells you to put it together. So they are serged all through the inside. And I feel like, you know, when you're wearing a pair of undies like this, you want them to be super soft and comfy, but having all of that serging exposed along the leg holes isn't the most comfortable thing ever. So on this one, I did the bias tape binding just the same way that I'd done the tank tops. So you don't have any exposed serging on the inside, and it is a lot softer. So those were the undies. I had never made undies before. I really want to make a swimsuit at some point. So that is why I tackled this project, just to kind of see if I could get the fit right. I don't really think you can go wrong with this fabric, just since it's so soft and stretchy. So I may struggle a little bit more when it comes to actual swimsuit fabric, who knows. Those are the two little sets that I just thought were so cute and that I would end up wearing, and then I just haven't. I need to go somewhere hot so I can lounge around in these. Okay, and I'm just gonna go through the next few really quickly since they're all the same. So this is a summer camisole in this chocolate brown, which I wear a lot. And then here it is in like an off-white. Also lined this one with that peachy nude color too. And then here it is in black. So I have all of the basic colors plus a couple fun colors, and then did I make more of these? I don't think I made any more of these. These are all the ones that I currently have. Okay, and then next I made a couple more tank tops. So last year I made a few Kate tank tops by East End Stitches, and I love them so much, so I made a couple more. This is just in that bone color again, and I also made it with a little lettuce hem. So this is the first time I tried a lettuce hem, and I figured out how easy it was to do. I do this with a zigzag stitch, so I know you can do it with a serger too. I've never tried doing it with my serger, but here's what it looks like on the bottom. I love the Kate tank top because it just has really clean straight lines. So it's just square in the front and square in the back too, and it has these little tiny spaghetti straps. So I just really love the silhouette of this. I love the high neck. I always like a good high neck. Yeah, this is just kind of a staple in my wardrobe. I did make this in black too. It's in the washing machine right now, and I wear that one all the time, so I think that I'll need to make another one. But yeah, that was the first one. And then the other one that I made is in this really cute plum color. This is just a rib knit, so it's really nice and stretchy, and it has like a firm stretch to it, which I really like. I also did a lettuce hem on this one, which turned out really cute, and I made this one a little bit more cropped too, because I feel like I wear this one with like a lot of my comfy shorts and stuff that are high-waisted. The thing that I did different with this one is I made the back low and scoopy. So I kind of thought about my Hallon dresses and how much I love those, and they're high in the front and low in the back. And I just thought that I would try to do a low back on this one, so I did just kind of adjust the pattern to do this scoop back. And then the exciting part is that once I was trying this on, I was thinking, I wonder if I can flip it around the other way, and it works. So I didn't make this scoop too low. It is just high enough so that I don't feel too exposed in the front when I wear it this way. So yeah, I really lucked out on that. So I can actually wear this way or this way. And I did the same thing on the black one too, which I really like, because even though I do typically wear it this way just because I really like the high neckline, it's nice to have the option to do it both ways, just depending on kind of what I'm wearing over and how I want that to look. Okay, and continuing with comfy clothes, I wanted to make a sweatshirt for summertime. So I used the Saga sweatshirt pattern by Slow Morning Studio, and I love this pattern so much. If you're thinking about making a summery sweatshirt, you have to use this pattern. This is how it looks. So it's just a really boxy sweatshirt, actually like a box. It's just like a rectangle, and then it has these nice slim arms. It's really nice because it's not just like big everywhere. It's really big through the middle, and it's straight on the bottom. So when it falls at your sides, it has this really interesting kind of drapey look to it. I also use this like really drapey terry material, so it does have a lot of movement to it, and it is really nice and lightweight. So this is what it looks like close up. It's this really pretty heathered mauve color. It does have a little bit of warmth to it. It is mostly cool. I don't know. I'd say this is neutral. Is this neutral? Is this warm? I really like this color. So I also made a pair of shorts to go with this. Do I have them right here? I might have to show you guys those later. I actually wore them when we were just out of town, so I think those might be in the wash too, but I made a really cute pair of shorts to match these, so it's a nice little lounge set that I do wear all the time. Also, I didn't use my serger when I made this one. Looks like I just used a zigzag stitch. Oh, my serger was acting up, so I didn't use a serger on this, and it turned out just fine. I wear it all the time, and it has never frayed or anything. I did end up fixing my serger. After reading a bunch of forums online, I figured it out, so it works now. So after making that one, I loved it so much that I needed to make another one, so I used this really nice kind of sturdy cotton rib knit. Here's what it looks like up close. Let's see, I need to turn this down. It's a nice like warm white, and it's got some stains on it. I need to take care of that. And also I changed the top a little bit. So as you can see, see, hopefully you can see, this top half is horizontal and then the bottom is vertical. So what I did is I just took that front pattern piece and I cut it in half, and then I added a 1/4 inch seam allowance, I think it was a 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch, a centimeter, to both sides, just so I can connect them in the middle. I think that it just gives it a little bit more of an interesting look in the front. It kind of elevates it a little bit, I guess. But yeah, the back is just all vertical. And I really love how this one hangs too. So this is a little bit thicker material. So if I do a little bit of a front tuck, it's a little bit more of like a voluminous looking sweater, which I think is really fun. But yeah, I wear this one so much over jeans, over leggings, over shorts, whatever. This is a really fun sweatshirt, and I'm really glad that I made it in white because I wear a lot of white in the summer. It's just like what I gravitate towards. I feel kind of fancy wearing this, which is really nice because it's just a comfy sweatshirt. Okay, and then I also had that same fabric just in this navy color. So I made another one. Do I have oil on this? I had a huge olive oil stain on this, and I think it's finally come out. Oh, I have new oil stains on it. So I feel like I just always spill oil on this, but you know, it's hard to tell, and they eventually come out. But this is another one. I love it so much. It's also very comfy, and I have a pair of leggings that I've had for years that actually match this perfectly. They're ribbed leggings, so when I wear them together, it looks like a set. I did not make the leggings. I bought them, I think, from like Target or something. Yeah, I think I bought them from Target like years ago. And I've been hanging on to them even though I didn't really wear them a lot. I usually gravitate towards black leggings. But now that I made this, I'm getting a lot more use out of those leggings. Okay, and since I love the Saga sweater so much, I had to make it a 4th time, and I made it in this really soft, drapey sweater knit. And it's just really pretty, kind of like oatmeal-y color. And it has this, yeah, like sweater knit textured detail in it too. I actually got a lot of use out of this, like going out in the summertime last year, because it's the perfect weight to just toss over a tank top or something when it's a little bit chilly in the evening. Boston didn't really get that cold at night, but you know, you get a little bit of a breeze. But yeah, I really just love how this drapes. I thought that this was just a really easy use of this fabric. I had been sitting on this fabric for a while. I still have a little bit left and I haven't figured out what I want to do with it. But yeah, once I realized how much I love this pattern, I wasn't scared to use this fabric for this, and I'm really glad that I did. Okay, and then next I made one more Hallon dress, and I made it out of this really beautiful block printed fabric. So this is another one of my fabrics that my friend got me, and I really, really love this dress. I made this dress because it was super, super hot in Boston, and I felt like I was just wearing my other ones to death. So I really wanted to add just another one into my wardrobe that was also short. I kind of did this fun little split hem on the bottom, so I made it a little bit longer in the back than it was in the front. I just thought that that would be kind of interesting. I want to see what it would look like, and I think it looks kind of fun. But yeah, again, the Hallon dress is just perfect. I definitely don't think this is the last one I'm gonna make. I haven't made any more since then. But yeah, I'll keep using this pattern forever. It's just like the perfect little dress. So one thing that I forgot to mention about this dress is, yeah, I understand the low back is really tricky for a lot of people who need a little bit more support. I'm pretty small in the chest, so I don't really need a lot of support. When I wear these dresses, I just wear these like silicone sticky pasties. I'll make sure to link those in the bottom because I know a few of you had asked me about them in one of my older videos. So I'll make sure to link those. That's what I wear with all of my backless stuff. And that's all I really need to feel comfortable in something like this. But I recently came across a little hack for this dress. I saw somebody put a shelf bra in one of these, so if you guys want to check that out, I have not tried it for myself, but if that's something that you're interested in, I'll make sure to link that below. That is one option if you do want a little bit more support. For me, that is how I get away with wearing low back stuff. I just don't really have a lot to support, I guess. So wearing low back stuff is just one thing that I've done to kind of embrace that about myself. There's the last Hallon dress. Okay, and next I made a really cute little set for my daughter. I started with this top right here. So this is actually a dress pattern that I just made into a top. This is the pattern I use. It's the Lucy dress. And yeah, the top of it is just this little t-shirt. It buttons down the back. One of my little cover buttons popped off. I do have it saved. I just haven't stuck it back on yet. But I did make little cover buttons for this and they turned out really cute. This is a duvet cover that we used to use and we just never loved how it felt. It didn't really cling to our duvet, so I actually like it a lot better as clothes, and you'll see that I made a few things out of this. So yeah, that's the top. I just shortened the skirt part of it to be like a ruffle on the bottom. Yeah, it's really cute with these pants that I'm going to show you. So I used the Leilani pants pattern from Flora Child Co. to make these. These are just some really comfy linen pants, and they have this nice elastic waistband. So the nice thing about this is that as my daughter grows, this will stretch, and then also if I really needed to expand it more, I could take the elastic out and just replace it with larger elastic. They're just these cute little wide leg pants. I made this pair without pockets. There are pocket bags that come with the pattern, but yeah, I just felt like she didn't really need pockets in the middle of summer. She does like collecting things in her pockets, but I didn't make these ones with pockets. But yeah, this set was so cute. Here's what it looks like. She still wears both of these. This is getting a little short on her, so I just have to make sure that when she's wearing it, these are pulled up nice and high around her waist, but yeah, it's very cute. So since those pants turned out so cute, I had to make her another pair in denim. So here they are. I also made them full length. So they're not really full length anymore. She's grown quite a bit. But when I made these, they were full length and I did like a raw hem on them, which was just so cute. You'll also notice that I put patch pockets on these. So these don't come with the pattern, but I just kind of went for it and made a patch pocket anyway. So she loves these pockets. She just calls these her pocket pants. And whenever she wears these, I'll usually put like a little treat in her pocket or something for her to find later. So yeah, those are her pocket pants. Usually they're full of rocks. Right now they're empty because I just washed them. But yeah, they're super, super cute. I do think I'm gonna have to replace the elastic soon because these are really little around the waist. I think the other ones were a little bit big around the waist for her when I made them, and these ones fit just right. So now these ones are a little bit snug around the waist for her, and it's not super comfy in this like thicker material. So I am going to have to take that elastic out and expand these a little bit more soon. But yeah, they're so cute. I love these. So the next two are a set. So I actually made a video about these two. This was making a linen set out of an old duvet cover, I think is what it's called. I'll make sure to put it up here. So first I made these pants. So these are the Peter pants. This is the pattern I used. These are just the perfect wide leg comfy pants, and I did add a drawstring on these. I think that the pattern has a drawstring included. I added a drawstring. So this is what it looks like at the top. These do have pockets too. I really love that the pockets don't seem to like bunch up or anything. I don't really have a lot of experience with making pants, so maybe this is pretty common. I just feel like when I go and try on linen pants in store, the pockets always seem to wiggle around a whole bunch. These ones don't, and I don't really know why, but they don't. So I love these pants a lot. I actually added like another inch on the bottom of these because proportionally, like I said, my waist is a little bit short, so my legs are a little bit longer. And yeah, they're plenty long now. So these are perfect. They're perfect for lounging around in, but I can also dress them up a little bit if I like iron them. I get a lot of use out of these. And then I ended up making this shirt to pair with it. This is the Carl shirt. Here's the pattern. This is the perfect oversized button-down shirt. So if you're looking for the perfect pattern, this is it. This shirt is the perfect amount of oversized where it feels oversized, but it's not like you're going to be drowning in it. So the arms fit perfectly. This is also more of like a long oversized fit rather than like a boxy oversized fit. So while it does have a lot of ease in the sides, it's also really long. So I can wear this over like leggings or something, and it's not like that awkward hip length. It's actually like full length in the back. And it has this really nice curved hem, which I was really scared to do, but it ended up turning out really good. I don't know, curved hems have always been really tricky for me, and I mentioned it in one of my older videos, and I got some really good suggestions on how to make it a little bit easier, and that's what I did on this one. I just did a basting stitch, 1/4 of an inch away from the raw edge. And then I folded that up and ironed, and then I did another stitch over top of that, and then I folded it again, and then I did my final hem stitch. Does that make any sense? So I guess the idea is that stitching kind of adds a little bit of stability, so when you go to iron it up and pin it into place, then it kind of naturally bends along that curve. So yeah, I followed those directions and it turned out really good. So now I do that on every curved hem that I do. So yeah, other things about this pattern, it does button up all the way to the top. So it is more of like a formal collar. I do wear it really wide open at the top usually, or I wear it just completely open over tank tops or dresses. The pattern does not come with this patch pocket design, so I ended up just making this because once I put this all together, it just looked kind of bare, I guess. In a really drapey solid fabric, it just needed a pocket just to add a little bit of interest. Also, I did do cover buttons on this too, so I was really debating. I was thinking about using tortoiseshell buttons for this. I really wanted to be able to dress this up a little bit too, and even though I absolutely love a tortoiseshell button, I think that they just kind of add a little bit of a casual look to anything that they're on. So I figured if I did cover buttons for this, I could wear this really casually, but I could also wear it dressy, and I definitely have. I've worn this tied in the front with black heels and black high-waisted jeans. And yeah, I feel like when it is ironed, which it isn't right now. Right now it's in like its natural linen-y state. It does look a little bit fancier. So I'm able to have a little bit more versatility with just doing the cover buttons. And this was the first time I did cover buttons. They were a lot easier to do than I expected them to be. I love this shirt. Okay, and since I love that shirt so much, I made it again, but I made it in this kind of like heavier flannel material, and I love it so much. This is like my favorite flannel. This is the flannel that I've been looking for years and years at like every thrift store. It's nice and oversized, but it doesn't fit like a big men's flannel. It fits like an oversized flannel for me. Yeah, this is perfect. I love the yoke in the back. I cut the yoke on the bias just to kind of have contrasting patterns here, and I also did the pocket on the bias too, so it's diagonal instead of vertical and horizontal. But yeah, I didn't pattern much perfectly, but I don't feel like it really matters on such kind of like a busy print. But yeah, this turned out really good. Since it is in the thicker fabric, it does have a little bit more structure to it. It is really nice and cozy. I can layer with this too, so you can see like the armpits go down pretty low, which makes it easy to like put on a big comfy sweatshirt under this, and it doesn't get bunched up in the armpits, if that makes sense. So yeah, I love this one so much. This is one of my most worn handmade items over the last year for sure. Okay, so we're almost, I think we're like halfway through. I think I'm gonna have to film more later, but I definitely want to get up until the point of us like moving across the country. So all of that was Boston. This is gonna be San Francisco. Okay, so as we're approaching fall, I guess, and the move, I wanted to make my daughter some comfy little play sets. So I brought her to the fabric store and I let her pick out whatever knit she wanted, and she picked out this like sparkly unicorn fabric, which I thought was super cute. And then I ended up just pairing it with a couple knit fabrics that I already had. This blue fabric was like a remnant, and it matched this background perfectly. So for this sweatshirt, I used this raglan sweatshirt pattern, and I really loved putting this together. It was just really easy. It just has one panel for this sleeve, one panel for this sleeve, and then a front and a back, and then you just add the ribbing. You'll notice that it looks little, and that's just because it is. My daughter's pretty tall, so when I made this, it was barely long enough for her. Now it's way too short for her, so she can wear like a shirt under it that pops out the bottom. But right now, if she just wore this, then it just wouldn't be long enough. So on the next few that I made, I actually made them a little bit longer, and you'll see that. But to go with this one, I just made these little leggings for her out of the same unicorn fabric. And then I ended up adding a little bit of ribbing to the bottom too, just to kind of pull these together. So for these leggings, instead of using a pattern, I just used a pair of pants my daughter already has. It's been pretty tricky for us to find stretchy pants that fit her just perfectly, just like proportionally. I feel like all the different stretchy pants fit differently. So there is a certain brand that fits her just right, and their leggings only come in like a few solid colors. So it's been really nice to be able to make her a bunch of fun leggings that fit exactly the same as her other ones. They are super, super easy to make. I just took a pair of her other ones apart and then traced those leggings to make these. Just two pieces. It's just one leg and the other leg. There are no seams on the sides. There's just a seam right here and then in the middle too. So there's that little set. And then I made her another sweatshirt with that pattern, but I added like 3 inches onto the bottom. So it is a nice long sweatshirt. This looks super cute over leggings. She can still wear this. It is starting to get a little bit short in the arms, but the actual sweatshirt itself still fits her. She can wear these with these too, and they do go together, so that's kind of fun. So the fabrics I use for this are just rib knits. So the sleeves are the same cotton rib knits as my other sweaters that I already showed you, but this middle part, I think that this is like a rayon rib knit, and it pills super easily, unfortunately. So it's just good to know because I have more of this, but I don't want to use it on like a surface that's actually going to have a lot of contact. So it might have made a little bit more sense to do this for just like the sleeves or something, but yeah, it's starting to pill a little bit. So I do have a little depiller, might work on this, or it might just snag it. So I'll have to be really careful. And then with the same pattern, I made this really kind of wild and fun sweater for her. So this is like a velvety rib knit. I do have a lot more of this, and I really want to make myself kind of like an oversized button-up shirt out of this. It would be kind of like cool and retro looking, but she picked out this fabric, which I think was really fun. It's kind of like this paisley floral pattern, and it just looks really fun with this bright kind of lime green. I made this one longer too, so this one fits her still. And then I made 2 different pairs of leggings that could go with this. So here is the first pair. These are a pair of leggings based on her leggings that fit her really well. And then I also did a lettuce hem on the bottom of these 2. It's just like the easiest and fastest way for me to finish these leggings, and it looks cute. And then for this other pair, I did use that same pattern, but I made these into flares. So these are like the cutest little things on her. They're just these little flare pants. They are like cropped. They always have been. So they sit like right above her little sneakers, which is really cute. So now they're like severely cropped, so they're more like capris now on her. I feel like she's grown like 5 inches this year, but yeah, these are really cute with this, and so are these. Okay, and then since I'd spent a while making a bunch of stuff for my daughter, I thought it would be time for me to make something for myself. So I made this sweater out of this sweater knit fabric. So for this, I used the Monroe turtleneck pattern by Tusuti Fabrics. It is a free pattern, but yeah, it is just like a boxy turtleneck pattern. I did have to make this a little bit wider in order to fit over my head, since this fabric doesn't have a lot of stretch. Is it the other way? No, this is the stretchy way. But yeah, it didn't fit around my neck. The way that the pattern was cut, it was too narrow for this fabric to fit around my head, but of course, if you're using a stretchier fabric, then it would probably fit over your head. I've been meaning to do this again on a stretchier fabric, and I probably will for like this upcoming fall and winter. But yeah, I really like how this one turned out. It's just like nice and boxy, but also slim through the sleeves. It does have a drop shoulder on it. And yeah, it's just really simple. And I think I cropped it a couple inches just so I could easily front tuck it into like something high-waisted and that it wouldn't fall like too long in the back, I guess. But yeah, I wore this quite a bit in the fall. I really love this color. It's just like a really nice warm camel color. This fabric does snag easily though. I already snagged it on the back here, but luckily this is in the back. I guess you could still see it. I have to figure out how to fix that. Maybe I'll just pull it through to the other side or something. I still have more of this fabric left, so I might make some like lounge pants to wear with this and make it into a little set or something. Okay, and then next is another set for my daughter. I found this fleece fabric is just a remnant, and I really wanted to make her like a warm, snuggly sweatshirt. So I used that same raglan sweatshirt pattern to make this, and then I used this floral brush jersey for the neck and the cuffs and everything. This is just a cute little sweatshirt that matches these floral leggings. And again, this is just the leggings that are based on her leggings that fit her already. So I also did lettuce hem on the bottom of these. It's kind of lost its lettuciness, I guess. It isn't as curly right now. She wears these all the time. They're some of her favorite leggings, like when she gets to pick which leggings she wears. Like whenever these are clean, they're like the first ones that she reaches for. That was everything that I had made while we still lived in Boston, and then I took a few months off because we were moving across the country. And then once we got all settled and everything, I started sewing again. So this is everything that I've made since living in San Francisco. And as you can see, there are a little bit more cheerful colors in here. I do feel like I wear a little bit more color now that we live here. And I think that's just because I'm surrounded by more color here, so I feel like that kind of ends up reflecting in like the colors that I want to wear. So I have to go right now, but I'm going to film a little bit later tonight. I'm excited to show you guys all of the rest of this stuff in just a second. Hi! Okay, we're back today, and I'm gonna go through everything that I made since moving to San Francisco. So we started the move here in September of 2023, and then we actually ended up moving into the place that we live in now in November of 2023. And I didn't end up starting to like really get back into sewing until we had moved in and settled in and everything. Actually though, the first thing that I'm gonna show you today is this. This is my daughter's Halloween costume. I made this in between moving out of our old place and moving into our new place. So I actually ended up using my mother-in-law's extra sewing machine to make this little costume for my daughter. So she really wanted to be a cat. She was a cat for her first Halloween, second Halloween, I guess, but she really wanted to be a cat again. So we went to the fabric store and she picked out this fleece that has like these stripes on it. And then I decided to get like some glittery stuff, and I put a random heart on it just because I thought it would be cute. She really likes those Beanie Babies with like the glittery eyes. I'll put a picture of one here just as an example. So I thought I would kind of go for that. I even thought about getting one of those like TY tags or something, but I ended up skipping it. And this was super cute. She just wore some blue leggings with it. Some of the ones that I made for her, oh yeah, I actually made blue ones like this color for her, and I didn't show you guys because I forgot about them, but that was her Halloween costume and it was so cute. Okay, and then another thing that I made right when we moved in was a shower curtain, and I have a video of me making that, so if you want to watch that, it's right here. Since then, I've actually taken down that shower curtain because every time I went into the bathroom, I just looked at the shower curtain and thought about how cute it would be as a pair of pants, and they don't have that fabric anymore at Joann's, so I ended up taking it down. I put up a different shower curtain, and now I'm in the process of figuring out which pants I want to make with my shower curtain fabric. Yeah, if you go and watch that video, I don't have that shower curtain anymore, but I will be using that fabric again at some point. So the first project that I did when I actually got all settled in and wanted to make clothes again were these matching sweatshirts that I made for my daughter and I. So this one right here is the half zip sweatshirt by Easily Made Design. I'd never used this pattern before, but it turned out super cute, and since then I've made a couple more of these for her. It's just a little half zip sweatshirt. I used like a sport zipper, and I used this really cute kind of groovy fleece fabric and some of that cotton ribbed fabric that I had. She's worn these to school. She's worn these to paint and play in the dirt and stuff. So, but yeah, I made this in a 4 or 5 for her. So she's 4, and this is a nice kind of oversized fit. It's comfy on her, but it fit pretty true to size with even a little bit of room in it too. So it was perfect fit for her and perfectly long enough without me having to adjust anything. So she loves this, and then I made a matching one for myself, and this is what it looks like. So this is the zip up sweatshirt pattern by Wardrobe by Me. I really love this pattern shop. I've used a couple of their patterns before, and they're really easy to follow. And the patterns that I had previously used fit pretty true to size. I'd made a couple things for my husband, but this was the first time that I'd used like a women's pattern by them. And this I feel like is a tiny bit small on me. Like it definitely fits me, but the sleeves are a little bit short. I know that my shoulders are a little bit broad, so sometimes that makes sleeves a little bit short on me. So I think I should have made them a little bit longer, but also I think that I would just rather have this sweatshirt in a size bigger. I did crop it a little bit just so it would look cute with my high-waisted pants and stuff. The length isn't the issue as much as I just wish it was a little bit roomier and I had a little bit more of like a cozier feel to it, because it fits me really well, but it's not like a comfy cozy sweater, if that makes sense. But anyway, these turned out really cute. They look really cute together. I do still get a lot of use out of this, even though it's not like my comfiest sweatshirt ever, but it is really cute and it is still warm, so I really like it. Okay, and then I realized that my daughter was growing out of all of her pants, so I ended up making her just a bunch of leggings. I brought her to the fabric store and I just kind of let her pick a few fun fabrics, but then I also made her a couple neutrals too. So just like the other ones, they look like this. They're just some leggings with a lettuce hem, and I made them for her in this bone color. And I did this one with like a light pink lettuce hem to kind of give it a little bit of pizzazz. She definitely has preferences with clothing now, so I feel like I always have to add a little something or have like special names or something for her clothes to make her a little bit more excited to wear them. So these are her chocolate pants, and she's always really excited to wear these even though they're just like neutral chocolatey brown pants. I think that otherwise she would just rather wear her other brightly colored pants. And then next we have her sprinkle pants. So these are just some polka dot pants, and I did a little yellow lettuce hem on the bottom of these. And then I did another pair of flare pants, and I did these with a lettuce hem too. So these are her racing pants. So these are just some pink checkered pants. This fabric is a little bit thinner than all the other ones, so when she wears these I usually put like a long shirt or like a big sweatshirt on her, just because yeah, they are a little bit see-through. So yeah, next time I would probably like double these up or something, but they're so cute, and she does wear these all the time. As you can see, she's like worn these to the beach and stuff. They're super dirty on the butt, and I don't think that's ever coming out. Okay, so next I made her these dinosaur pants. She was very excited about this fabric because it's like her favorite color and it also has dinosaurs on it. So these are her dinosaur pants, and then I made these ones for her too. I already had this fabric and I really like this print. My mother-in-law got me this fabric, and it's just a really cute, really soft brushed jersey. So yeah, she's worn these a few times. I feel like this is kind of like a fall print, so it'll go with more of her fall clothes than it does like her summer clothes and stuff. But yeah, these are just like the softest, stretchiest leggings ever, and they actually fit her. And they come together really quickly, so it's really nice that I can just like bust out a few pairs of pants for her. I made another pair with this fabric. So this is that same like kind of velvety corduroy look, but it's like stretchy fabric. And then I did this with a lettuce hem. So the other ones were flare pants. These ones are just regular leggings. Okay, so next I'm gonna show you guys a couple shirts. I actually have a video of me making these shirts too, so if you're interested in that, check it out. This is the Tiana's Closet Isla top, and this sewing pattern was actually inspired by this Emerson Fry top. So when I looked at the sewing pattern, I realized that the photos used for that were actually the Emerson Fry top. So I did make a few adjustments just to kind of give it a little bit more of that cropped fit like the models in the pictures. So it is a little bit shorter than the pattern suggests. And for this one, I used this linen. So this is actually our old fitted sheet, and it started getting holes like right in the middle, right where we move around the most. So I used kind of the perimeter of the sheet to make this shirt. That was like the thickest, nicest part of the sheet. But yeah, it was a really nice use of the sheet. I actually wear this one all the time, and this linen is super, super soft. So also another nice thing about using a sheet we've had for a long time is that the sheet has been washed on super hot over and over and over again. So I know that this can hold up in the wash. I know that I can wash it on warm if I want to, and it's not gonna like shrink or anything. But yeah, this one has a nice like casual laid back look to it. It's kind of wrinkly and just kind of flowy, and that's a little bit different than this one right here. So for this one, I used the same sewing pattern, but I made it out of another one of my block printed cottons. So this one's actually hand block printed, so I really like all the different variation you can see in it. You can definitely tell it's hand block printed and is so pretty. I love these colors too. They're just really nice and cheerful, but still like not super bright. I feel like I can still pull off these colors even though they're like cheerful colors, and I tend to gravitate towards more like autumn colors. They're like the happier autumn colors, I guess. But yeah, I really like this one too. It does fit a little bit poofier. It has a little bit more structure to it. Also, something I forgot to mention is I made these two in different sizes. So I made this one in a medium because I wanted to make sure that I had enough room in the shoulders. Sometimes blouses fit me a little bit tight in the shoulders, so I wanted to make sure I had room even though I was measuring at a small. I don't think I needed to size up to the medium, but I do like the fit of this one. Since I'm going for more of that like casual look with this, I feel like the size works for that. But making it a second time, I definitely wanted to try it in a size small, and I feel like for this fabric, the size small fits perfectly. And since it is a little bit more structured, having an oversized fit wouldn't really make sense. So I really love both of these. I also really like that I can wear these a few different ways. So sometimes I'll wear them all the way tied up, so I'll have two bows. Sometimes I wear them all the way open, and then a lot of the time I wear them with just one tie. So you have these really nice long strings hanging. On the pattern, there are no instructions for like how long to make these. I made mine really long because I really like long hanging strings. I know that not everybody's into that. But yeah, I love these tops. They're just perfect spring tops and summer tops for here in San Francisco, since it doesn't really get above 70 very often in the summertime. It's perfect. Okay, and then next, these are some pants that I'm really excited about. So these are the Tropical Research Lazy Pants for kids. So I do have the Lazy Pants pattern and I still haven't used it yet, but Tobias came out with a kids version and I was really lucky I got to test these. So this was my test pair and they turned out so cute. This is actually the same fabric that I'd use for my shower curtains. So pretty soon I will have a matching pair of pants. I also used that duvet cover that I showed you before with that dress that I made for the strings and the patch pockets. So there's a little bit of contrast. They kind of stand out a little bit, but they still go with the colors that are already found in this fabric. There are pockets in the sides too. So there are little pockets here, little pockets on the back. And something I really loved about this pattern is that these are made like adult clothes. So these are super heavy duty. The pattern does suggest using French seams on the inside. I did not. I just did a serged edge just because I was afraid that this canvas would get really bulky if I did French seams and stuff. So I just skipped the French seams. There are instructions for doing that too. I really love Tropical Research patterns. I've loved all of the patterns that I've used from Tobias, so these are no exception. I love these and I'll be making a ton more of these for my daughter too. Okay, and then next I wanted to make more comfy tank tops. So I used the Stay Stitch Pattern Co. Lola tank dress. It's a dress pattern, but they also have instructions to make tanks. So I'll show you guys what these look like. These are so cute. I do have a video of me making these, so if you want to watch that, I'll make sure to link it here too. I really just loved the neckline of this. When I first saw the pattern, I just thought it was really interesting having like a really deep scoop in neckline. So I'm actually wearing one right now too in black. I recently made this one, so that's why it's not on here because that'll be on next year's video, I guess. This was the first time I had used this pattern and I ended up making it reversible. So this is double layered, so you can see that on the inside it looks like this, on the outside it looks like this. But since I did full binding on the edges, I can actually turn this around and wear it like this too. So I did switch around the instructions a little bit for this because I think on the original pattern you're going to have serging on the inside or something, but I just encased the whole edge in binding. So it's really easy to do if you want to do like a reversible one, and I just think it's kind of fun. I like it like this, but I really like kind of like that contrast edge if I wear it the other way too. So I made this one right here, and then I also made this one right here. So you'll recognize this fabric from the leggings and stuff that I made for my daughter. But yeah, this one's also reversible. So it looks like this way, and then on the other side, it's just all floral. And then I made it in off-white too. So I wear this one all the time. I really need to make another one of these just so I have another one to wear when this one's dirty. But yeah, I really love these tank tops. I love how they kind of show if you're wearing kind of like an open neckline or something. And yeah, I just really like that high neckline. And I really love just like how unique the cut of this is, because you can definitely tell it is not like a typical tank top that you'd buy from the store. And having these double layered just feels super luxurious, especially in this brushed jersey. They just feel nice and thick. And even though there's like really no support in these at all, they do kind of have that compression-y feel since they are double layered. With these, I also just wear my little silicone stickies and they do the trick. I love these tank tops. I'll definitely be making more of these. I think between this pattern and then the summer camisole and then the Kate tank top, I think I'm set in tank tops right now. But it's really nice to know that I have 3 really good tank top patterns that I'll be using for years and years. Okay, and then next I made a really nice pair of linen pants. So these are made with another duvet cover that I actually thrifted. So for these ones, I also used the Peter Pants pattern, and I made a few little changes on these just to make them a little bit different. So if you can kind of see, I made these pockets more like patch pockets on the front, and then I did put pockets on the back. Like I had mentioned, I wanted to put pockets on the back of my other ones. I still might add them, but these are what the pockets look like on the back. I did add a drawstring, and yeah, these are just perfect linen pants. And a really fun thing about these pants is that I made made this with a thrifted duvet cover that cost $4. So a tip for finding really good fabric for really cheap is thrifting. I think that at a lot of thrift stores, when they get sheets in, they just kind of price all of them the same without looking at the fiber content. So these are 100% linen, and the whole duvet cover was $4, which was the same price as one of like the microfiber polyester sheets too. So this fabric was a steal. It is just like the perfect linen. It did feel really heavily starched when I first got it. It was really stiff and like crisp. So when I took it home, I just washed it with vinegar and that softened it up perfectly. So yeah, I love this fabric so much. I love these pants. They're just like the perfect white linen pants. I do think I might dye them though. So I made sure that when I sewed these, I used cotton thread. So hopefully if I dye them, then all the thread will dye too. So I just haven't decided what color I'm gonna make these. I was thinking about making them either like a green chartreuse or like a dark muted teal. So if you have an opinion, make sure to leave it in the comments. I'm really on the fence about it. But yeah, I love these. Okay, I'm gonna go make some dinner, so I'll be back in just a few minutes. Hi, we're back. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you guys is this top right here. This is the Jessie Lou's Closet Calvin crop, and it is just a really cute cropped top that ties around. It has a keyhole in the back here, and then these two ties wrap around the back to the front, and then you can tie it in the front. It's really cute. I really thought this pattern was unique because it kind of has some of the corset details. So it has seams right here, and you could add boning if you want to, I guess. And then it also has a little bit of gathering underneath the bust here, along with this top stitched bust line here. So it kind of has that corset-y look, but it is still a really casual top. It has a nice square neckline, which you guys know I like, as well as all of this bias tape binding around the edges. So it just looks super polished and really nice. I really wanted to make one of these to go with a sunrise skirt by Jessie Lou's Patterns, which I just recently tried, and they turned out so cute. I've already made 3 of them, but they're not on this rack because I made them like last week. But I've seen a few people make this to go with their sunrise skirts, and they're super cute together. So unfortunately, this one didn't fit me perfectly. I don't know what happens, but sometimes when I go to make a top, I always measure myself, and I measure it one size, but then I need a size smaller. And I know that I have a small chest, but I think kind of all over the place on this it gaps. So I really want to go back and see if I can alter this one, but I think on my next one I'm just going to size down a whole size and see if that kind of fixes the problem. There are a bunch of instructions on how to adjust this as you're making it too, so next time I'll definitely read through that and see if there are any other adjustments that I can make based on how this one fits me. But luckily, making this for the first time, I just use a thrifted bed sheet. It is a really cute pattern though, so I'm really glad that I have extra of this. I have a whole king size bed sheet of this, and then I also have 2 pillowcases to work with, and it is a really nice heavy cotton. I know that in the pattern it suggests not using 100% cotton. It says to use something with a little bit of give, so that could also be why it doesn't fit me perfectly. But I do really love this style, and I do plan on using this pattern again. Okay, next I have a couple sets, and I actually made a video of me making these sets, so if you want to check that out, I will link it right here for you guys. I had been following Sewing with Solana on Instagram for a long time, and I really wanted to try out a pattern from her. So first I made this top. So this is the Molly top, and this is some really nice flowy viscose that I decided to use. I love this fabric. The colors are so pretty, and it's just super, super lightweight. It's like almost sheer if you're looking at it in person. Since the print is really busy, you can't really tell if you're wearing it. Yeah, I decided to use this since it is just like a really nice summery fabric. It was very difficult to work with. It is really, really silky, so it tends to warp a lot. So even though this sewing pattern was really simple, putting it together in this particular fabric was really tricky, but it ended up turning out really good. I did make a few little changes just because of the fabric. So I did add a facing around the neck hole, even though it just said to do like a little double turn around the neck. And I do feel like that gave it a little bit of stability. I love this shirt so much, and I even made a matching skirt. So this is what the skirt looks like. I followed Anne Sophie's Sophie's YouTube tutorial on how to make a maxi skirt, and I just made a mini version, so I'll make sure to link that below for you guys. But it's super simple to make a skirt like this. It's just a matter of taking a couple measurements and then making some rectangles and gathering the bottom. This does have some elastic in the waist, and then I also added a little waist tie, which wasn't included in the tutorial, but it was super easy to do that. And I feel like it just adds a little bit of interest in the front. So yeah, this is a super cute set. I love this fabric too. I haven't really had an opportunity to wear this yet because it has been pretty chilly in San Francisco, so hopefully I will soon. Maybe I'll just have to go somewhere so I can wear this. And then after I made that set, I loved it so much that I needed to make another one. So I made this one right here. This is some fabric that I've been wanting to use for a couple years now. I actually got this when my husband and I were in Paris and we went to the fabric district. So I found this really cute floral print. I think this is rayon because I thought it was cotton. It was with a lot of cottons and it kind of has that cottony feel to it. It's a little bit like cool to the touch, which makes me think that it is a synthetic fiber, so probably rayon or something. It has a lot of really nice drape to it and it is super lightweight. So I do really love this. It's not sheer like the other one, but it still kind of hangs in a similar way. And then this is the skirt that I made for it too. So it's the same as the other skirt, has a waist tie. The only thing I did different on this one is I made the elastic a little bit thicker. So I think this one's like an inch and the other one is like 3/4 of an inch or something. And I really like the wider elastic. I think it's just a little bit more substantial looking. But yes, I have worn this set already. It is a little bit less breezy than the other one, so I feel like I could get away with wearing this one in like the 60s and low 70s. And another thing about these two sets is it's really easy to wear these things separately too. So I have worn these with just like my white jeans and it was really cute. And then I've worn this with just like a t-shirt and a jean jacket. So I do see myself wearing both of these sets quite a bit, and they were both super easy to make. So if you're a beginner, I would recommend doing something like this because you're gonna probably end up with something that you actually like and that you really want to wear. Oh, also with this one, I did just do the regular double turn around the neck and it turned out really good. So I didn't use the facing for this one and it was totally fine. And one last thing about this skirt. In the video that I made about this skirt, I had mentioned that when I was taking my measurements, in Aunt Sophie's video, she had said to take your waist measurement and then add 15 centimeters to it. And when I did that, it wasn't gonna be wide enough to fit around my hips. So in the video I mentioned that, but then one of you commented on that video and let me know that Aunt Sophie actually commented that underneath her own video. So she has like the corrected suggestion underneath her video. So make sure to check out her pinned comment under the maxi skirt tutorial video if you're gonna be making one of these. Okay, so next is this really cute denim vest. So for this, I actually followed this linen vest pattern by Slow Sewing Studio. I did a lot of stuff different on this one just since it is a thicker fabric than linen. I do plan on making a linen one though, but I really wanted to make a denim vest at the time, so I made the adjustments and it actually turned out really cute. It's a really nice cropped and boxy vest. It's not like a form-fitting vest at all. I would eventually like to make a form-fitting vest, but I thought this silhouette was just really fun and felt really me, I guess. So I like to wear this with my wide-legged white jeans. It's also really cute with this skirt too, so I've worn it like this too. And I've worn it with and without a shirt underneath it. So when it's a little bit chillier out, I like to put a little white long sleeve shirt under it just to keep me warm. And I think it looks really cute layered too. I'll try to explain what I did differently. So on the instructions, it tells you to basically sew everything right sides facing, and then you end up having to pull it through one of the straps. But with denim, it just wasn't going to work. It was just gonna get stuck in one of these straps. So I ended up sewing the denim and the lining wrong sides facing. I just did like a basting stitch around all of it. And then I ended up adding like a bias tape facing all the way around all of the neck holes and armholes. So it looks really clean from like the outside and everything, and on the inside you can see that bias tape. So I know you can't see the lining when I'm wearing it, but it's kind of fun to know that I have a really cute lining in my vest. This is some more of that Indian block printed fabric, and I really love this pattern. It's so pretty. It's this really beautiful turquoise color, and then all of the lines in this floral print are actually red, so they kind of read as just like black outlines, but when you look really close, there are a lot of other colors in there. So yeah, I really love how this vest turned out. I will be making another one in linen. I do have a few ideas. I think I want to make a black one with like some tortoiseshell buttons, and it would be really cute to do this with a sunrise skirt too. So we'll see how many more sets I need for summer in San Francisco. For now, I really love this. I think it's really cute, and it's a really fun take on a denim vest. I've seen so many denim vests this year and none quite exactly like this, so it's kind of fun to have one that's a little bit unique. I might add a couple little pockets right here. And I forgot to mention these buttons. These are just like jeans buttons, so I like hammered these in and everything, and I think that they're kind of fun. They kind of give it like a jean jacket look. So yeah, I love this vest. Okay, and then the next thing is a really cute thing I made for my daughter. So this is the Iris dress by Flora Child Co. I've been really excited to use this pattern. So when my daughter's school was having their preschool graduation, I decided it'd be fun to make her a new dress to wear to it, so it felt kind of special. She actually picked all of these fabrics herself. So I set out all of the cotton fabrics that I could use for this dress, and I let her choose which one she wanted. And then we kind of made some drawings on my iPad. If I have those, I'll put them right here. And I let her choose where they went on the dress. And I think it turned out so cute. I think that she has very good taste, and she loves wearing this dress. She wears this dress all the time now. Oh, I want to show you guys the back too. There's a really cool little keyhole, and then she chose the button for this. So I have a bunch of random buttons, and this one is kind of like a little sparkly disco ball, and she really likes this one. So I do think that I'm going to have to make a little bit of an adjustment. I might have to stitch this hole a little bit smaller just because this pops out all the time. And then just for a fun little detail, I added a contrast binding right here just to kind of tie it all together in the back. But yeah, this dress turned out super cute. She loves it. I'll definitely be making more of these. Even the first time through, I think I made it in like 2.5 hours. So this is a really easy thing to make. And a great thing also for gifts too. The sizing is very forgiving. I think that this is something that she'll be able to wear for a long time. Right now as a dress, but eventually as just like a top. There is a lot of space in the sides here. So yeah, I'll probably end up making this for a couple friends too. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so for the next one is this really cute milkmaid top. So I've been really wanting to try the Lydia Naomi Dream Frock. Before I committed to the full dress, I really wanted to get the fit down on the top. So I decided to make just the top version, and I made it out of our old duvet cover. So this is still that same linen that I made that button down top out of and that little set for my daughter. And I really love how this looks. It's just a really nice, like easygoing milkmaid top, I guess. And even with like the puff sleeves and everything, I don't feel like this is too dainty on me. So since I do have like a more prominent bone structure, I feel like if I had made this in like a dainty floral print or something, it just wouldn't really suit me well, but I feel like in this fabric it really does. And for the sizing, it surprisingly fits super well. So I ended up just going based on my measurements. I measure, I think, a size 8 around the waist and then a 4 around the top. So starting with this one, I did just go with the size 8 all over. In the instructions, it does say to go with your waist measurement, so that's why I did that, but I know that you could also do some grading too, which I did on the next one, which I'll show you guys. But even going with that, it did fit really well. I just ended up taking it in a smidge on each side before I ended up putting the zipper in and everything. So there is an invisible zipper in the side, and I was a little bit nervous about that. Up until this point, I've been super comfortable putting zippers into stuff, but I've never been confident in my ability to do an invisible zipper, and I just took my time and it turned out really good. So I was really proud of myself. But yeah, this shirt is so cute. I love it so much. So I ended up making it again, and instead of doing the puff sleeves this time, I really wanted to try to figure out how to do it with spaghetti straps. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to make the dress in spaghetti straps or with the puff sleeves, so let me know what you think. I think that with the straps, it's a little bit more versatile. It's a little easier to like wear a jacket over spaghetti straps than puff sleeves, so I'm leaning towards this one. This did turn out really good. I did end up doing the grading on this one, so this one does fit me a little bit more accurately, I guess. I did it in this linen, and I ended up doing double layers all the way through this whole bottom area, and then this is double too, but I wanted to make sure that it was fully opaque. This linen is a little bit sheer, so I wanted to make sure the bottom matched the top. So since it was double layered on the top, I knew that I needed to make it double layered around the bottom too, so that the whites would match. So the way that I ended up making it with the spaghetti straps is after I assembled this whole bottom part, I ended up just doing a bias tape binding around like the armpit hole, and then extending a strap through the front and the back, and then I just have little ties at the back. So I didn't have to perfectly measure the strap from the front to the back. I just ended up doing these ties. I think they're really cute, but they're also pretty forgiving in terms of sizing. And then the zipper on this one is also in the side, and the end of the zipper is covered by this bias tape. So it ended up working out really well where I don't have any zipper tape like sticking out or like rubbing on me or anything. And yeah, I've worn this a lot already, so I feel like I am leaning towards the spaghetti straps just because they're so much easier to style for me living in an area where I need to layer. Okay, something that I just remembered about this, actually two things that I remembered. I did make a couple other adjustments. So I followed the video tutorial for the small bust cup adjustment. So there's a video with a bunch of different adjustments in it. I will make sure to link that below because the other one just had a lot of excess fabric right here and you can't really tell just because the look is gathered. But on this one, I did make the bust cups a little bit smaller using that adjustment and I feel like they fit just a little bit better. So now I just have a little bit less fabric just hanging around here. Another thing that I did with this one is I made the back a tiny bit lower. So I think I lowered it like 3/4 of an inch or something. I think just with these straps, having it stop right up here would kind of cut my back in a weird spot. So I just lowered it a tiny bit. And I feel like that just looks a little bit more natural with the straps like this. I love this one though. This is probably one of my favorite things that I made this year. Okay, and I just realized I had forgotten to show you guys these bags, so I'll show you guys those in a minute. But the last thing that I made in my second year of sewing was this flannel right here. So this is also the Carl top that I'd used before. I'd made this twice already in the flannel and the linen. And like I said, summer in San Francisco has not been particularly warm, so there is a need for a flannel in the summer here. So when I saw this flannel fabric, I was just inspired to make like a happy summery flannel, and that's exactly what this is. I feel like I can layer this over my summer clothes and it still is cheerful. It has nice happy colors in it. And then also I just took it a step further by using these flower buttons. So there's these little white flower buttons. I hope you can see those. I'm also going to be making one for my daughter and I found her little pink flower buttons too. So I thought it'd be fun for her to have a matching happy flannel with me. I love this. Just like the other ones, the fit is perfect. It is so cozy and it's not too oversized. It's not like boxy oversized. It's the perfect amount of oversized. And I did make this in my normal size, so I didn't size up for an oversized fit. So it truly is like meant to be oversized, and that's what the sizing is based on. I love this flannel. I'm so happy I ended up making it. I've already gotten so much use out of it. Okay, and then I totally forgot to show you guys the bags. If you've been following me for a while, you've probably seen these bags already. I really love the Tropical Research banana bag. So I have a few of these that I rotate between. This is the one in denim that I made this year, and I wear this all the time. When I first made this, the denim was really bright blue, but it's really nice that it has faded to this like perfect medium wash. I always use these same zippers. These are the YKK donut pole zippers, and they're super smooth, and I really love just having a little bit of a dangly something just for a little bit of style, I guess. And then for the hardware, this is my favorite hardware that I got from this store called Gather here in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So sadly, I don't have very much of this left. I made sure to stock up on it when I moved, but I've already used quite a bit of it. Yeah, it's like the perfect brass hardware, and I'm looking for a place to find more of this. Even if I have to order it, I'm fine with that. But I just haven't found anything quite as good as this stuff. So if you guys know of any online stores or anything that carries brass hardware like this, let me know. This stuff is my favorite. And then of course I had to make one in black. I was using this today, so there's a little claw clip on it. But yeah, I really love these. I wear them usually like this. It's really nice to have a hands-free bag, especially with a 4-year-old. I don't need a diaper bag anymore, but I still want to have something that I can just throw a couple snacks in, and then also something that allows me to use both of my hands. And then I made it in this really pretty flax linen. I got this linen at a discount fabric store in Cambridge when we lived over in Boston. It's just kind of the perfect like natural tan linen. Okay, and then I really wanted to make a new bag using a different pattern. Since I've been so loyal to the banana bag, I decided to make a bestie bag. So this one I made out of the shower curtain fabric, and I didn't use any interfacing or anything, so it's just a really nice slouchy bag. And I ended up finishing the handle with like this tie option, so this is how I normally wear it. It's really nice because it's super adjustable and it's pretty big. I feel like I can fit quite a bit of stuff in here. I did use a big long zipper. It zips from one end to the other. And I made this in the medium size. So I know that there are 3 sizes. There's like a medium, a large, and then there's a mini version too. I think I might make a mini one for my daughter just so she can carry her own stuff around. I feel like she's at the age where having her own bag is really fun. So yeah, that's what it looks like. I love this fabric so much. And at some point I'll have pants that match this bag. Okay, well that took forever. So if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. That is everything I sewed in my 2nd year of sewing. So I've actually already started sewing some stuff in my 3rd year. So I'm really excited to show you guys that video around this time next year. Hopefully I'll get it out in May next year. I'm a little bit behind. But yeah, it was really fun to try on all that stuff. And now I'm really excited because I don't know, I get kind of in the habit of wearing like the same things or the same combination of things every day. So it was really nice to try everything on and just be reminded of certain things that I really love that I don't wear enough. So if you have a favorite thing that I made this year, let me know in the comments. I'd really love to know. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider doing that. If you like this video, and if you didn't like this video, then I hope you like the next one. All right, well, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you later. Bye.